I love my Sega Dreamcast. It's one of my all-time favorite consoles. It has some of my favorite games on it I've ever played. But as much as I love the console, as much as I'm an apologist for it, there's one thing I very badly need to admit about the Sega Dreamcast. For all of its amazing contributions to gaming, all of its fantastic aspects, this is a terrible controller. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. You guys look fantastic today. I hope you all are staying warm out there. If you're wondering why I am dressed like a vagrant, it's because my studio is in my basement. And it's currently -7 here in Michigan. And yeah, that has been my biggest complaint about the Dreamcast for years, is that I just don't care for the controller. The OEM controller is a little clunky, it's not designed terribly well. I've had some other third-party controllers that just didn't work for me, but today I'm really excited because I got something, I got a few things in the mail from my friends at Retro Fighters, and the thing I'm talking about today is the brand new wireless StrikerDC for the Sega Dreamcast. A few years ago when they released the original version of this controller, it was a wired controller, and I didn't jump on it, I didn't pick one up, but I'm so appreciative of them to send me these controllers for the purposes of review. They don't know what I'm saying. They haven't asked me to say anything specific about this. I am including links to the products in the description down below, but all thoughts in this video are going to be my own. So what do you say? Let's get over, let's take a look at the unboxing, because I got one in this beautiful blue, I got one in black, and I got one in white. Let's go over to the bench and unbox them, and I'll let you know what's inside the packaging. So yeah, you can see here, this is the box for the black StrikerDC, and I think it's a really sharp looking controller. It's got traditional design lines that we're kind of expecting nowadays with our controllers. There's the details on the back. You can pause it there if you want to take a look at them, but I will also include that in the description down below. But now let's get this thing unboxed and let's see how it looks. Right away, right off the bat, I'm impressed by the packaging just because, you know, orange is my favorite color. But first we're going to unbox the dongle that actually attaches to the Dreamcast itself, that acts as both the receiver for the controller and the reader for the VMU. You will see here you do get a USB-C charger with it. It's a standard USB-C cable. It's, I think, 3 feet. And I've got mine plugged into a USB-C hub that actually just charges everything, and it's been working great. You see here, this is the actual dongle I was talking about. The VMU just plugs right into it. Got my beautiful blue VMU here, and it just slides right in and plugs into the front of the Dreamcast. It's great, just like a standard controller would, just like a standard receiver should. Yeah, it's just super cool. I'm a big fan of Retro Fighter stuff anyway, but there are certain things like the attention to detail of giving you this little instruction manual on how to pair everything. I also like that this black one came with a certificate of authenticity. There was only 2,000 units made of the black one, so I'm pretty stoked to have that. I think that's really cool. But the controller itself is, of course, the piece de resistance, and this thing is beautiful. Now, if you're not familiar with the Dreamcast, you might be wondering why there's only one thumbstick. That's because there was only one thumbstick on the original Dreamcast. But you've got your A, B, X, Y, you've got your clear, you've got your start, you've got a D-pad, you've got your triggers. It's a really comfortable feeling controller in the hand, which I really appreciate and I really enjoy. Now I wanted to show you all 3 colors at the same time. I didn't want to just show you the black one as the unboxing. So you've got the black controller, which I think is gorgeous. The white controller, which is really nice to look at and matches the line look of the original Dreamcast. But there's my favorite, the blue one. I love the clear plastic. I think it's fantastic. So which games are we going to be checking out? We're going to be taking a look at Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2,
I don't believe you.
NFL 2K, and ChuChu Rocket. I think it's a pretty good mix of game types there. We can really get a good feel of how the controller performs, but let's kick things off with one of my favorites. We're going right to the puzzle game, ChuChu Rocket. Alright, so if you're not familiar with ChuChu Rocket, it is a puzzle game where you are playing as a group of mice. You're trying to avoid a bunch of cats, and you need to get on a rocket and blast off. It's a good game. Alright, just going to start simple. We're going to start with puzzle 1, and we're going to see how it controls. Feels good. No issues. We are going to just part that there, and then the dash up there, and yeah. So the whole idea is that you place tiles to make the mice move where you want them to move, and you need to get them into the rockets blast off, and you're good to go. Not bad. On to the next. In hand, this feels really good. It's got a nice weight to it. I wish, yeah, because I always say nice things in videos, and I do need to be a little bit more proactive with critique, because it's just one of those personality things. I don't like to say negative things, but if there's one thing I would improve about this, it would be to add some texture to the back of it so it actually has a little bit more grip. It's a very smooth controller, so I can see me personally dropping it. Your mileage may vary on that. That could just be something that I like. Like a rubberized grip or just a textured grip, like some non-skid grip on the back would be fantastic. All right, so we're onto the zigzag now. And the idea with the game is you follow the path that they're facing. And if you look at this, they're always going to go in the same direction. So they run into a wall, they're going to turn. So you want to place... And that's the other thing that I keep forgetting. You keep hearing the arrow noises. The arrows that appear in the bottom are congruent to the different face buttons here. So if you have a right-facing arrow, you're going to press the B button. Left would be the X button, and so on and so forth. Let's see if this one worked. Hey, look, they're all going to the rocket. Now you just got to hold down the dash button until they get there. That's probably the worst part about ChuChu Rocket. But I mean, a bad session of ChuChu Rocket is not a bad thing whatsoever. ChuChu Rocket's an amazing game. One of my favorites, and yeah, I think it's really fun. All right, we've got cats now. We've got cats, and that's a good thing. So let's see how this goes. We're gonna place that. We're gonna place that, and start things off. The cats, of course, can't get out of the pen. Cats are in a box. That's what cats do. They like to be in a box. Yay! It worked. I love ChuChu Rocket. Not a surprise, though. Something that doesn't have a terribly complicated control scheme is going to be working correctly. Let's get over now to NFL 2K, because I'm very curious to see how a sports game performs on this thing. All right, so it might make some of you a little bit surprised that I'm playing a football game here and not a hockey game. And gonna be honest with you, it's because the NFL 2K series were spectacular. Some of my favorite gaming memories are getting together with my friends Gordon and Rich. Miss you, big guy. Miss you, Gordon. And Mike in playing NFL 2K over at Mike's house on Friday nights. Now, if you have never played these games, these are a stark difference to Madden. They're a little bit more arcade, a little bit more free-flowing, a little bit more fun. I personally love them. I think they're fantastic. I wish that these were still a thing and still used and still produced today, because there's something special about these games. They've been fantastic since Jump, fantastic since the start, and I just love them. The gameplay is where it matters, and the gameplay for this series is amazing. All right. All right. Like these, because both the bumpers and the triggers function the same way, so that's really nice. Oh, that's not good. Randall Cunningham did not throw that ball well. It's clearly Randall Cunningham and not me. Maybe I shouldn't have telegraphed things to Randy Moss quite so obviously. All right, here we go. Oh, I was giving up a yard of play. That's not good. That's inexcusable. That is just bad defense on behalf of the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. We got a completion. That's something at least. We now have more yards completed than the Lions do. Do a couple more plays and then we'll move on to the next game, because I'm sure you all are not enjoying watching football. Here we go. All right, it's playing great. No surprise there either. It's if there's one thing that I know about Retro Fighters, it's that their quality is top notch, and this is a solid design. It's working really well. Let's move over now to something a little bit different. I had said Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, but I want to play something else, and I'll show you what it is here in a sec. You're gonna have to forgive me. I forgot I own Sonic Adventure, and if you're interested in seeing the pickup video where that happened, link on the card on screen right now. I am excited to play this. I'm really interested to see how this performs with this controller, and I think it's probably going to be pretty good. One of the things I really like about this is the use of the triggers. I think they're very comfortable. They work great to turn the controller or to turn the camera. But I think this controls really well. It's playing very well. It feels better than the OEM controller, which is really all you can ask for in a situation like this, because if you're going to be spending the money on something, I mean, you can go original, but man, the original Dreamcast controller is just so rough and just not a great feel in the hands. Like, ultimately, that's the important thing, is that this feels so much better in my hand than the original one does, or any other third-party controller I've ever used. Oh, I just killed Sonic. Oops. Sonic can't swim. And I think that's the important thing. It's it's not the most exciting footage here, but I can tell you that the moving him around and actually like jumping and running and using his powers are nice and responsive. The camera controls are good. It doesn't feel bad. It just feels like a good, well-designed game and a good, well-designed implementation of the controller with how well it works. And that's really all you can ask for. Like I'm trying to think of ways. Like, oh God, I wish I had this right from jump. I could show you that opening level. But this is not a bad experience whatsoever. I think this is really good. But let's now go to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, because I just killed Sonic again, and we'll see how that performs. So yes, this is my favorite game on the Dreamcast. It's full of nostalgia, something that I absolutely adored, still adore, I will always adore. It's just a fantastic game. I wish I still had my original save. Like one of the most disheartening things is that I don't have everyone unlocked. Who are your mains in MVC2? I'm curious about that. Opening roster, I tend to go with Marrow. I use Tronbon. We want to go. Yeah, we'll go Ryu. We'll go Ryu. Why not? So let's hop in a game. Who are we fighting? We have got Guile, Iceman, and what's his name? Hayato? Oh no, not a Super Hadouken. This is probably terrible content here because I tend to get quiet when I play fighting games, but this is controlling really well, which is nice because yeah, the original Dreamcast controller is terrible for fighting games. Hey, that wasn't very nice, Bobby. Gosh, I cannot pull off that move tonight. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's going to leave a mark. All right, Bobby Drake, you're the only one left. Bye-bye, Bobby Drake. Controlling brilliantly well, and normally that's where I'd stop it, but it's MVC2, so we're going to go another round. I'm a little rusty, in case you couldn't tell, but that's all right. Where is a Mingo from? Like, that is one of the mysteries I have about MVC2 is this character here. He's a cactus, and he's not a character I recognize from anywhere. Like, I would think, like, just given kind of the design that he'd be a Darkstalkers character, but I don't think he's a Darkstalkers character. Like, I would recognize him, I would think, unless he's from, like, the animated series or something, which, boy, that would be weird if they put an animated series character in here. But, yeah, I mean, he's a great design. Oh, he's got Strider, damn it. I'm so bad against Strider. Alright. No doggies! Are there any characters for you in fighting games that you just, no matter what, you struggle against? Like, for me, with Strider here. And a lot of it had to do with my my friend Chris. When we would play this growing up, Strider was a character he used a lot, and he was so goddamn good with him. And I was not. Like, I played a lot of fighting games. I don't claim to be good at any of them. I am, by far, an amateur at best at any of these. Oh, I did beat my friend Rob in a round of Injustice once. A round. Rob is the best fighting game player I've ever seen. This is controlling great. We're going to go now. I'm going to give you final thoughts, and we'll wrap this up. All right, so final thoughts now on the wireless StrikerDC from Retro Fighters, and no lie, this is a revelation, and it is a must-own for anyone that has a Sega Dreamcast. The biggest complaint I had, like I said, is that there's no grips on the back. It's a little bit slippery. Performance-wise, this is an impeccable controller. It is absolutely stellar performance. I cannot say enough good things about this. Now, that might sound like a broken record for me with Retro Fighters because I've liked everything that they've made, but they make good quality pieces. I'm going to like things that are quality, and this one is super high quality. This is a must-own for anyone that owns a Dreamcast. The fact that I now have 3 of them and I can actually hook this back up to the big TV and to be able to play Dreamcast games wirelessly from my TV on my couch rather than sitting here in the studio is amazing to me, and it's just such a treat and such a fantastic controller. These are $49.99 on the Retro Fighters website, and I'm not going to lie to you, that is worth every single penny. These are magnificent controllers. If you are a Dreamcast owner and a Dreamcast fan, and you are dissatisfied with other third-party controllers or the original OEM release for the Dreamcast, the wireless StrikerDC is for you. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this. If you use the wired StrikerDC or now the wireless StrikerDC, please let me know. I cannot suggest these enough. Links to the product will be down in the description below, so be sure to check it out if you are interested in picking one up. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for being here, and remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.